The Measuring Show.
Since 1970, MPB has been enriching the lives of Mississippians.
Everything we do gives us the chance to grow and learn.
With your support, we are always there whenever and wherever you need us. Together through the years, together in the future. Please consider making a donation at mpbfoundation.org. MPB, your stories, our mission. The nation's longest-running traveling celebration of traditional arts, the National Folk Festival comes to downtown Jackson for the first time, November 7th through the 9th. A fun-filled weekend for the entire family, exploring roots, richness, and variety of American culture. Non-stop music and dance, folk life demonstrations, hands-on children's activities, signature Southern foods, crafts, and more showcasing the best of America, the best of Mississippi, all free. We'll see you in November. More at nationalfolkfestival.com.
This is Next Stop Mississippi on MPB Think Radio. I'm Jermaine Flood, in with my traveling partners, none other than Java Chapman and entertainment attorney Kamel King. Turned, let me make the announcement right now, turned author on me. And so we had to celebrate. Kamel and turn the fan on. I can hear the fan in the back.
I'm so sorry.
It's kind of warm in there. Y'all got a packed house.
I knew it was going to be some bodies in the building.
Some bodies
Hot
in
artists.
this building.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited. This is Kamel King's Jacktown, USA book release and signing party celebration happening on Next Stop Mississippi today. And we don't have one of those applause things, but I'm doing this right now. Thank you, Mr. Cotton.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Because this man can literally do everything. Like, I don't know how you can do it all and write a book.
The power of God.
I mean, I can barely drive home in the afternoon. And you can do all of this, and I'm just so proud of you. Don't know when you did it. You must have did it in your sleep. And I'm super
Couldn't
excited
have did it without
for you.
Jolie.
And I've been told to hold the book up. This is Jacktown, USA.
Yeah. And look at the pink tabs. If you're on the live stream, just look at the pink tabs.
That's a real journalist right there.
Jermaine has been inside the book.
I have been
inside the book.
I have been inside the book, the
Yes.
capital city of American music, written by Kamel King and none other than co-authored by my friend who I've already touched before on Marshall Ramsey's show, Mr. Joe Lee. Joe, thank you for coming on as well.
It is good to see you, Jermaine.
It's good being here with you both. Congratulations on this book release of Jacktown, USA. I mean, literally bringing together everybody who ever touched down in the capital city who made the mark that they made. And I'm just so excited to have y'all both on. One, I want to know, Kamel, what made y'all want to come together and say, let's do this book? I know the breadth of music knowledge and experience that you have. And Joe, of course, you in the capital city with everything that you've done all the way from your time in school all the way to your time writing again. What made y'all want to come together and do this book?
You know, I think it was just organic. All of these artists, they are just some of the best you've ever seen. I've known them all 10, 15, 20 years, my whole law career. A lot of us are friends. Mm-hmm. We've done business. We've been a fan of each other. I've been a fan of them. And, honestly, the genesis moment, I would say, is sitting down with my parents and now my in-laws and us listening to them talk about Farish Street.
Yeah.
And just the heyday of Farish Street and how it was buzzing. And, literally, I was just a fly on the wall listening to all of the stories of what it was like then, Lynch Street, how it was just, so the culmination of the career of defending Mississippi music, loving Mississippi music, and being on the spear end to help protect these artists, it just was time. And the Frasconas, of course, who I work for, who are visionaries, and Joe Lee, who's written many books and helped the firm with many projects. It just bubbled up. It was time.
And then your daddy.
And then my daddy.
Correct.
Lee, the King.
And then your daddy.
The literally history of Jackson, Mississippi music.
I know.
Yeah.
So this is great. Joe, What made you want to tag on along with Kamel and say, let's put this together. Let's put our breadth of knowledge together and let's do it.
I love working with Kamel, and everything he said about the Frascona Law Firm is spot on. Great folks. I love Mississippi music. I'm a music lover. I worked in radio for years, and a chance to tie in the capital city, tie in the creative economy, and tie in a truly awesome history of not just Mississippi music, but everything that begins and ends in Jackson and serves as a launching pad for so many of these folks.
Yeah.
Stevie here, Eddie, Zach, Juan, everybody in this book has been touched by Jackson and made so many inroads through Jackson to get where they are.
Yeah.
That was a big motivation for me being part of this.
I love that conversation. Java and I were having that conversation the other day when I was, telling him about the book, and I was like, you literally had to, and still somewhat, in my opinion, have to come through the capital city or the state of Mississippi to even be relevant. Remember us talking about that, Java?
Yeah, it's sort of a stamp that only Mississippi can give, because we were talking about how regionally you can have a song just, as far as like something is happening in California. Okay, it's happening over there in California. You can have something happening over in North Carolina. Okay, it's happening in North Carolina, or in Florida. Oh, it's happening in Florida. But if it happens in Mississippi, you might as well go and put your stamp on the whole country.
Yes.
Because we don't play.
That's right.
We have a tough crowd. It's a tough crowd.
Yeah.
But
Right.
if you can make our tough crowd love you or move or whatever, you've made it. You
Yeah.
can make it anywhere.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
They usually say that about New York City, but no.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
about Mississippi.
Exactly.
I am so excited, though. This is just going to be a really, really exciting day. They've got the book beautifully in this shot. I want to get started, though, with some of the players of the book. We have got none other than a friend of the show already.
Yeah.
I'm just in love with the man. After I read his piece inside of the book, I was like, oh, I know him.
Right.
And let me just reintroduce the legendary Mr. Eddie Cotton.
Legendary.
He
Lightning
is
in a
here.
bottle, Eddie Cotton.
He is here. I knew Kamel
Master of
I
ceremonies.
knew he couldn't hold back.
AKA MC.
When I tell Kamel to hold back, he won't. He won't hold back. We've got Mr. Eddie Cotton in the building. And then you know who else is in the building? Let me go ahead and introduce him, because this is the man who taught the man that I just introduced.
Wow.
And I read that as well.
That's right.
In the book.
That's right.
On the Zoom with us is none other than the extraordinary.
Man, is he?
I mean, he worked with none other than, I'm just going to quick name drop.
Please.
I'm going to say it.
Let him know.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Who in here has seen Michael Jackson for real? Not me.
Exactly. Right.
But Mr. Zac Harmon is on Zoom with us today, and I am just so glad to have you in Next Stop Mississippi with us today, Mr. Harmon.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I am so happy to have you here. I mean, this is royalty, Kamel.
Yes,
Thank you
it
very
is.
much.
Oh, yeah.
This is royalty. And none other than in the building with us, we have, of course, one of Jackson's own favorites, Mississippi's favorite.
Yes.
You hear his name literally everywhere. The
Yes.
man don't stop touring or performing. I seen Stevie J Blues before I knew anything about blues, possibly. Mr. Stevie J Blues is in the building.
Awesome
with us as well.
songwriter.
Yes, an awesome songwriter. I'm just in love with having all of y'all here. So I'm going to do it in little capsules so we can get this all done.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't going to go nowhere. I've got a little shindig out front for y'all once y'all leave from the studio. But I want to start with Mr. Eddie Cotton.
That's my man
I've
right
got to
there.
start with Mr.
That's
Cotton.
my guy.
Now, Mr. Cotton, I've got to pull my notes on you. But Sinners is a big movie. The movie Sinners is really big, and so I watched the movie, and then I read the book, and I read your piece in the book, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, now did they write Sinners about Eddie Cotton?
I wish they had.
Eddie.
Right.
I mean, I can't remember the main character's name. Java, please help me if I forget. Miles is his real name, the actor Miles. But Miles, I feel, played Eddie Cotton. Miles was a preacher's kid. He made sure he was going to church. His daddy made sure that he was in the church. But Miles' daddy also let him play the blues, you know, when he didn't want to. And then he had to come back the next morning after a night of playing the blues and go back to church. And so I was like, wait a minute. This is Mr. Cotton's life. Talk a little bit about that, Mr. Cotton. Just being in that mode of wanting to play the blues and having to make sure you did what you had to do religiously.
Well, I love my dad. My dad was a straight up person. So after he invested into the church, into the music department, as I got older, that was just the loyalty back to him.
Yeah.
Now, when I got a scholarship at Jackson State University, I wrote a song. Me and Stevie J was talking about a church boy delivered by the blues. When I mixed both worlds together and found out that theoretically they were the same, everything was pretty much the same, you know, culture. And it taught me a lot, especially when I did the Robert Johnson movie, how the two music connects. Just, you know, like I always say, the words change or whatever. And my dad never came to a show of mine because of things that he have taught, things he had to stand by. And I, for some reason or other, I was the only son. I had a sister. I've always loved being by myself. Sometimes I always wanted a brother, but as time got, I like being by myself. Yeah. And I was just getting trained for the moment because I had to step out by myself. It wasn't that my family didn't support me, but because of the situation, things he had said, I wouldn't have wanted him to put that on the line to support me. Dad, I got this. You know, you just, you know, going. I'll be back. I'm gonna be there for you. And he was cool enough. He caught some slack about, you know, and it was this one fella that joined the church for whatever reason, and he wanted to leave the church, so he looked for an excuse. So he targeted me. So he called my dad in the office and said, "Well, I don't think it's right that your son playing the blues." My dad said, "That's fine. He was here when you got him."
That's right.
So see you.
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it.
My dad always stood behind me. He was a straight up guy. He ain't ever told me that I was going to hell, whatever. He taught what he taught. We understood what the church stood for. Yeah. But a lot of things that they don't show about preachers is that preachers are not weak. My dad came from the streets.
That's
broken
right.
home.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he understood the culture of what I was doing. So, and he was just that kind of fella. But, you know,
I love it.
I've been teaching what I've been teaching. It is what it is. We understand what's going on, Junior. You know, they call me Junior. So that made our bond even stronger.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Look, I'm gonna take a little left because I've got a little bit of time, but I'm gonna get all of it in. So I'm gonna take a little left. Marissa, I did see that you had flipped some pictures around, but I want to start with the Eddie 1 photo because these are some of my favorite pictures that I had seen of Eddie. And Eddie, let me tell you. Oh,
now are these pictures in the book?
Yeah, some of them. I think some of them.
Both of them.
Both of these are. These are in the book. But Eddie, just your stance, your stage presence, and all of that really got me. I'm reading and I'm getting excited. I'm like, oh wow,
Always
Eddie,
had it.
come on, Eddie,
Yeah.
come on, Eddie. So Marissa, flip to 2, the album covers. Now, these album covers are clean.
Yeah.
I had to highlight these 2 album covers live
And
at
the
the
music
album
even
here.
cleaner.
I know. These album covers are clean. Eddie was not to be played with. And then I want the picture number 3. This is my favorite one. Look at there.
That's right.
Look at there. Look at there. Those 2 photos. Now, these 2 are not in the book,
That's
John.
right.
These are photos that I pulled for myself.
Now this one over here is in Anna Leibovitz's book.
Yeah.
That picture was taken outside the subway lounge.
Yeah, I love that photo.
Yeah.
When I seen that photo, I said, okay.
Yeah, she was
That's blue.
she was snooping in my business.
And then you know what the caption said, Eddie and a friend.
That's right.
That was a natural. She turned around the corner. I thought she was through, but she was still snooping and got that picture right there.
And then the other cute photo that was to the right of that's me and Eddie. That was at the National Folk Festival, y'all. So yeah. I had to get that in. Now, Eddie, I want you to set this next gentleman up. Because he literally taught you guitar.
Yeah.
Let everybody know about Mr. Zac Harmon before we fold him in.
Well, on Farish Street, there was this place called the YWCA.
Okay.
The M was turned upside down. It was for young women.
It was for women.
Yeah. In some kind of way, my dad, him being familiar with Farish Street, he took me in there. He said, I'm going to get you some guitar lessons in this place. I looked at it, YWCA. So I walked in, and there was this tall dude, and his voice, I got comfortable with him the first day that I ever saw Zac. He had that thing where I felt okay with him.
Yeah.
I like this dude. He cool.
Yeah.
And you never know the influence somebody have on a young kid's life. And Zac went off to L.A. or whatever, and I never saw him. I used to think about him all the time, even when I got older. So I wonder what Zac is doing, because he just up and left.
Yeah.
And I didn't have no teacher no more. So we came there one Saturday, and they said that, well, he won't be back. He moved, so I went swimming.
Zac, do you recount any of these events?
Oh yeah. Eddie was my favorite student, and I got to tell you, Eddie was a grown man at 6 years old. I have never in my life encountered someone that had such an old soul at a young age.
Wow.
And I remember the first thing he said to me was, my daddy said, you got to teach me church music. Well, and I was fine with that, because I played quartet. But, quartet and blues are first cousins. So, I would sit there and play a whole bunch of, little quartet / blues stuff, and Eddie would sit there and look at me, and he'd be like, I knew he wanted to play. I knew it was in it. I could see it.
I love it. Listen, we're going to get into some of that because I don't want to spoil all of the book. But Mr. Harmon, I mean, just the accomplishments and the work that you have done. I have to tip my hat to you. Yes. I am so honored to have you on this show right now. Just thank you for all that you've done. I mean, how do you feel about being in the book Jacktown, USA, and the mark that this book is going to have on the state?
Well, it's a huge honor, to be honest with you. How they say Jesus was known everywhere but in Nazareth. And and sometimes I kind of feel the same way about Jackson. But the thing about it is, anytime that I can be included, or anything that I can do that promotes my home, I'm all for it. I have, I went to LA with nothing, and the only thing I had was what Jackson had given me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, the things that I was able to accomplish was because of those things that Jackson had given me.
That's good.
And I was really blown away because I was like, people would talk about, oh my God, man, you're so talented, you're so this, and I would say, y'all don't know yet. I said, where I come from, I'm just another person. I'm just another player. Mm-hmm. I said, y'all don't get it. I said, these guys in Mississippi are incredible.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I love it. Okay, before we get to Stevie J, there's singles that are coming out behind the book, right?
That's right.
So, Marissa, go through some of those singles. Eddie's got one coming out in July. Jacktown Sons has got one that's already come out in June.
Just came out.
And Stevie J has got one that's going to drop in August.
That's right.
So all of these go along with this. There's going to be an album, Kamel?
That's correct. The book is not just a book. It is and it's about Jackson, about Mississippi, but each chapter is dedicated to an artist. Each chapter has a original song that artist did. It has a music video, a lyric video. So there's a compilation album that teams up as a partner with the book. And look, we going for Grammy Awards.
I love this. I'm in love with this. I love this. I love this. I love this. I'm so excited. I want to do the Java. What did I say I want to do? The audiobook. I want to be the audiobook voiceover.
You want to be the voiceover? We've been looking for the right person
it's
too.
Me.
It's you.
No, I can do it.
I know you can.
No, I promise you, I tried.
I know you can.
No, I had voices and everything.
Do it.
No, I mean not now. I'm not gonna show it off.
Be Stevie J right now.
No, I'm gonna do it for you later. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna audition.
You gonna audition?
Yeah, I'm gonna audition.
You know the right people. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
that's what I'm saying. But I'm gonna audition, please, sir, sir. Okay, so let's get into Stevie J because without Zac Harmon, without Eddie Cotton, there would be no Stevie J. Without Bobby Rush, there would be no Stevie J. And so, Stevie J, I'm just so glad to have you here because you are literally like one of those players who are still boots on the ground, hitting the slab, you know what I'm saying, getting out there and doing what you have to do. Absolutely. So thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
And I want to know from you, too, just how excited are you to be in this book and have learned from people like Zac and Eddie and Bobby. I mean, that's a heck of a training ground, sir.
Exactly. I tell people that all the time that I was one of the fortunate guys to come in as an artist because I was already a musician, professional musician in the gospel world. So I kind of had a basic grooming on how to be a professional musician.
Yeah.
So when I came to the blues world, it was just about, kind of making connections and, getting to know people. And I people like Eddie. When I first started doing blues and stuff, me and Eddie used to meet at the Cotton Bowl parking lot. And he would tell me, I check your show out, you did good, but you got to stop this, or you got to do this. He was really hands-on with me, and it meant so much. I mean, just what I need to do. He said, bro, you good, but you need to stop this. You need to quit doing that. And same way with Zac. I knew Zac before I met him because we had a mutual friend. When I was playing with the Jackson Southern Airs, Grenard McClendon was a friend of Zac's, and he used to talk about Zac all the time. And when I met Zac, we were playing that 930 Blues Cafe.
Yeah.
Zac came in and hung out with us, sung a couple songs with us, played with us, and we've been cool ever since then. If I call, I got a problem, I need to know something, I call Zac like, hey, man, what I need to do about this? What and he tell me straight, Yeah. And so, like, I've just been blessed because,
I know.
From Bobby Rush to Sir Charles Jones, TK Soul, Zac Harmon, Eddie Cotton, I can call them all. Yeah. All of them are, And most new artists or artists emerging or coming up, they don't have that. So
mentorship.
The mentorship, they don't have it, man. They don't have the relationships, to be able to reach out to a Willie Clayton and say, hey, man, I need help with this record. Or reach out to Bobby Rush and say, what I need to do about this. Or reach out to Eddie Cotton and say, hey, man, what guitar I need to use on this track.
I love it. I love it. I love it all. The book, of course, is coming out. Jacktown, USA. Lemuria Books. That's right. June 26th.
Yes.
What time is it, Kamel?
6 to 9, and it's going to be a movie.
6 to 9.
All of them going to be there.
It's going to be a movie. Y'all are going to have to.
Performances, food,
y'all are going to have to get out there. Listen.
Jolie.
We've got so much more coming up. I mean, it's a whole bunch. Up next, though, make sure you stick around because it's time for us to take a break. When we return, we are going to be checking out the 9th annual Juneteenth on Farish Celebration. I want to say Farish Street every time, but they took the street out of it. On Farish Celebration. You're listening to Next Stop Mississippi on MPB Think Radio.
Every parent wants their child to grow, to explore, and to dream big. At MPB, we're proud to support families and teachers across Mississippi with trusted educational programming and resources that inspire learning and spark imagination. From PBS Kids favorites to digital tools and early learning support, MPB is here for young minds, engaged classrooms, and families who believe in the power of learning at every age. Empowering families, inspiring learners. MPB, your stories, our mission.
At the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in Meridian, we believe in the power of the arts, storytelling, and education, just like Mississippi Public Broadcasting. MPB connects communities across the state with quality programs that inform, inspire, and engage. Their audience is loyal and appreciative of businesses that support public broadcasting, which makes underwriting on MPB a smart investment. Join us in supporting MPB. Learn more at mpbfoundation.org.
The nation's longest running traveling celebration of traditional arts, the National Folk Festival, comes to downtown Jackson for the first time, November 7th through the 9th. A fun-filled weekend for the entire family, exploring roots, richness, and variety of American culture. Non-stop music and dance, folk life demonstrations, hands-on children's activities, signature Southern foods, crafts, and more showcasing the best of America, the best of Mississippi, all free. We'll see you in November. More at nationalfolkfestival.com.
Mississippi is a place of deep roots where every story matters and every voice can be heard. At MPB, we stand with our local communities, bringing you the voices of those who shape our state through local programming that reflects our culture across small towns to big cities, from the Delta to the coast. We tell the stories that define us, from the music that carries our voices to the leaders who inspire change. MPB brings you the heart of Mississippi, celebrating Mississippi one story at a time. MPB, your stories, our mission.
You're listening to Next Stop Mississippi on MPB Think Radio. I'm Jermaine Flood, in with my traveling partners, Java Chapman and Kamel King. Whoop, whoop. He is a traveling partner today, but not really. He's not really a traveling partner.
He's a featured partner.
Right.
Yeah,
What an honor.
He's riding in the backseat with his feet up.
You know what I told him? I said, you better not ask no questions.
You sure did.
That's what I told him.
You basically said, shut up and let me run the show.
I said, let me cook. Let her cook. That's what I said. Listen, before we get to cooking on our final segment for Jacktown, USA, the book written by Kamel King with Jolie and featuring some of the hottest artists in the whole wide world. Let's talk about the 9th annual Juneteenth on Farish Celebration. That's going down Saturday, June 21st at the historic Farish Street District in Jackson, Mississippi, 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. That is going to have, on the green space, it's got music and games and more. There's going to be arts and crafts, food trucks. You'll be able to eat out there. They are celebrating unity, peace, and freedom, and they've done this for now 9 years. The turnout is always amazing. There are some great people who come out. Marissa, if you can flip through those, I'll tell you when to stop because I want to talk about one of those photos or two of them or something. We're getting there, though. But there's face painting and all of that, and they are going to have artists including Time to Move, the Time to Move band, My Cherie. Look at Asiatic Black.
Look at Black.
That's what I wanted to say when I got to those. Like, look at who's in that photo.
Right.
Time to Move, My Cherie, Sade, Diamond Armani, DJ Real Crazy, Young Top, BBG Money, and Kamel, I'm only saying the ones I think that I can pronounce. Big Homie Fresh.
I hope you got that one right.
Yeah. Black Goldie, the Mac. Look at Kaz and Queen.
I know.
I had to say that when that picture came up. Southern Styles and more. Look at Tellus. Look at Tellus, the tuba player from Epic Funk.
There he is.
everybody goes to the Juneteenth.
From the band.
Everybody goes to Juneteenth on Farish Celebration. Again, that's going to be Saturday, June 21st, 5 p.m. until 9 p.m., hosted by none other than Kaz and Queen.
That's right.
And you can get out there and celebrate unity, peace, and freedom with everyone. So, yay. Happy Juneteenth. I hope everybody had a great Juneteenth holiday yesterday, whether you were off or not. Make sure you had lit your candle in your head to commemorate.
That's most certainly.
Now, tomorrow, right up the street from Juneteenth and Farish, I got to plug my own stuff.
Okay, let's go, because Java's out and about.
Always.
Juneteenth at Union Market is happening from 2 to 7. So before you go to the Juneteenth on Farish, come and shop with some local vendors. You can hear DJ Fortress, Fifth Child, DJ Fingerprint, myself on the ones and twos. Yeah, we're gonna be out there having a good time. And if you haven't been to Union Market, it's a great space. They just opened up Union Station, downtown Jackson, across from the King Edward. So part of the Jackson Redevelopment Authority, and it's happening. So all that little corridor downtown area is going to be popping tomorrow, celebrating Juneteenth.
Awesome.
Shout out Tabby.
Make sure you do that. Yeah, come on, Tabby Moyo.
Yeah,
I love her. All right, so let's get into literally our stop of the day.
Let's stop.
I mean, we still stopping.
Yeah, we moving though.
It's Jacktown, USA, the book written by Kamel King with Jolie. This is going to be happening all at Lemuria Books. Kamel, there's going to be some music happening too?
Oh, yeah. Everybody will be, most artists will perform an acoustic set of one of their songs. But again, each chapter has a song that goes with it. So don't only just get the book, listen to the audio book, but make sure that you listen to the album. We've got a staggered release of each single through Sony Orchard, and then the full album will be released August 22nd on all digital platforms.
I love it. I love this.
Yeah,
and
it's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
And you know what's
hot? It's a mix, too. It's a gumbo.
It's hot in here because I got some heavy hitters.
Man, do you?
When I said who was coming today, literally all the ladies around
already.
The agency were like, who?
Yeah.
Who? You say Chad Wesley, like who?
Yeah.
And then you say Jay Wan.
Yeah.
Or Rashad the Blues.
Yeah.
Kid. And everybody's like, who?
That's right.
So right now in the studio with us, we have got none other than the legends themselves as well. I've got Chad Wesley. Chad, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for
Next
having
Stop
me.
Mississippi. If you don't know nothing about Chad, you have been sleeping under a rock.
Right.
I want you to know that. Chad stays touring. He stays out there.
Right.
I mean, if there's one hardest working man in music business, it's Chad Wesley.
The rebirth of Jimi Hendrix.
It's Chad Wesley. And then the second hardest working man in the music business, and you've seen him out there, he is none other than the B.B. King of the Blues Award recipient, Mr. Rashad the Blues King.
And placed second at the IBC first time there. Almost swept the whole thing.
Yes.
I'm so glad to have you on the show.
Thank you.
I mean, there's a whole party in this room right now. I want you to know that. I want you to know that.
Yeah.
And then finally, in the studio with us, I had to put him at the end because you know what? I got this record.
Man.
That I want to play, but Java ain't going to let me.
He ain't gonna
because he says it's going to be copyrighted.
Yeah, we'll get copyrighted.
We got the copyright owner in the building right here.
Can I do a little, I got this record?
hey, I can clear it.
That's right. That's right. And you got your lawyer in the building.
Java, you already know what to do, sir. None other than the multi-talented. I'm talking about women.
Right.
Flock.
Songwriter galore.
Flock.
Right.
When let me tell a quick story before I introduce him for real. I've done radio a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. And I may have met you maybe in passing once or twice or whatever, but I never stood claim I know Jay Wan. You know what I'm saying? I've never done that. And so I was out at one of them in Metro Center Mall, the one formerly KJ's that was on 80, then they moved to Metro Center Sharpline Collection. And there is an associate up there. Can't remember her name. Little short thing, cute little thing, right? And she just loved me. And she was like, Jermaine, I know you work at the radio station. I was like, yeah. She was like, do you think I can meet J1? And I'm like, girl, I've seen him before. She was like, I'll do anything. I'll do anything to dress J1. I'll put him in one of these suits. And she would walk around the store and put the suit together and then show it to you. You think he like this? I'm like, girl, I don't know him like that. And so just the fanfare around you is such a buzz. Yes. I've got none other than Mississippi
I know it's the truth.
Song.
I met her. I bought some shoes. She ended up in North Park Mall too.
You know her. Yeah, he knows her.
Yeah,
she loves you.
And he's the newest addition to Emerald Tiger.
Yeah. And I'm just in love with the fact that you were here on Next Stop Mississippi. Thank you so much for gracing the studio for me. Yeah. So I'm excited about all three of y'all. I want y'all to talk about, Chad, just your involvement in the book and your relationship with Kamel. I mean, when he called you to be in it, what did you say?
Well, he hit me up initially with a text message. Hey, what you doing on this date?
Oh, okay.
Kamel, what you need me to be doing on this date? He's like, I need you to come here for a meeting. So I came to the round table, heard the idea. I fell in love with it immediately. I've totally believed in anything Kamel ever comes to me with because I know he only puts his hands in gold. You know?
Thank you, man.
So, I was very excited to be a part of this.
That's good stuff. You know what I like about you, Chad? When I think of Chad Wesley, I think of crossover. Mm-hmm. It happens very rarely here in the state where you can have a white man who can cross over in white and black crowds and the music and the feel and everything like that. And I'm just in awe of how you've done it and how long you've done it for and to the degree you've done it at. And so just thank you for what you've done here in the state musically when it comes down to that, because that's very important to me when you're able to float in this audience and to float in that audience and float very fluently and honestly. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
Well, first, thank you for acknowledging that.
Yeah.
That's something I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
I grew up with a lot of unity.
Yeah.
I was raised in a unifying family where black culture and white culture was prevalent in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said my DNA is Mississippi. I've got a rockin' mind. I got a country heart, but I got a blues soul.
I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that music and that culture being prevalent in my home where I started, and then going out into the world and just being a social butterfly, and nobody was a stranger to me, and just being welcomed into so many different types of cultures and circles and round tables. Mm-hmm. It just flowed out of me musically. And sometimes for me as an artist, it did create some issues for me creatively.
Yeah.
Because when it'd be time to do a record or record a song, I'd kind of get like, which road do I take? Which way do I go? And I would just pick up the guitar and start singing and let the music guide me where I needed to go.
Yeah.
And it's been a smorgasbord, a big gumbo of different things, but I feel like at this state in my career, it's worked in my favor.
I love it.
So I appreciate you acknowledging that.
Yeah, I love that. And then, of course, like Mr. Cotton, you've been playing since you was yee-high.
Yep.
I mean, got your first guitar, you know what I'm saying, when you was this big and started playing. I mean, how have you felt going from, you know, a young musician and being able to still be relevant in the game today?
It's difficult, especially with how the internet has made it so easy for just anyone to get in. And I don't discredit anyone. Everyone is open to have the same dreams I had. But it takes a grind and a work ethic and a passion for what you do. And sometimes those of us who are extremely passionate about what we do, we kind of get lost in the wash of people who are just doing it to be doing it.
Yeah.
And I think that market will correct itself eventually because, you know, everything from television to radio to whatever gets convoluted, and eventually it settles itself correct. But my thing is, I constantly look for inspiration in both the people I'm surrounded with the things I'm influenced by, and I try my best to always translate that into my work.
I love it.
Stay busy, and your work will sort itself out.
For sure.
I love that. I love that. I mean, come on now. Heavy hitting. Heavy hitting.
Heck of a thinker.
Yeah, I'm in love with this. Chad, you've got a new single that's out, a brand new full-length album, actually, right? Soul Rebel?
Soul Rock.
Soul Rock.
Yep.
I couldn't see it. The words are tiny on the paper. Don't you look at me like that, Kamel. Soul Rock. I've got it up there. That's where it's at. It's right there.
Right.
Congratulations on that. And then a single that goes along with this will be dropping in August that goes along with the book.
Yes, I have a single that's actually not featured on that record, but it'll be strictly done for this compilation album for Jacktown, USA.
That's awesome. August the 1st, Slow Down.
Slow down.
Yeah.
That's what everybody needs to do.
Most definitely.
We all need to slow down.
Yep.
Listen, let's get into Rashad the Blues Kid McGill.
Ooh, yeah.
When there's a pattern of blues musicians, you have to have a couple things. One, you got to be from the state of Mississippi to be able to.
Already.
Two, you had to have come up in the church.
Exactly. That's the common thread.
You had to, and then three, I'm almost noticing you had to go to Jackson State University.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But it does help.
You know what you're saying? It does help.
All right. There goes Java.
Right.
There goes Java. It does help.
And play sports.
And play sports.
Because this man is a big sports guy.
Okay. Well, then all of those have been checked off by Rashad the Blues Kid McGill. Rashad,
sure.
Thank you again for coming on. I want to talk about just you being the blues kid. Tell everybody, from whence you came to who you learned from and who were your influences.
Oh, man. I came up again in church. Actually, the guitar player, Billy Evans, he was the babysitter for my mom. He would sit me next to him while they did the choir rehearsal and stuff. And, I came up and grabbed a guitar 16, 17 years old and playing. And I ended up going to Jackson State against my father's wishes, being a Delta Devil,
Okay.
So the household was already
supposed
divided.
to be green.
Right.
And it ended up blue.
Right. And then the funny thing about that, like I got a brother, he plays alpha, and my whole family is Noob. So look, we just
split.
Like, what's going on with my children?
Split.
Then I got out. I ended up putting a band together for artists to come in the Lord. There was a lot of Southern Soul stuff going on. And I got lucky to open up at a club one night. And behold, guess who it was?
Who?
None other than Mr. I Got This Record.
That's right. Well, would you look at here?
Hey, then say, probably never meet him again. Go on. Go walk into the Waffle House. There's J1.
That's it. That's it.
We chopped it up, had a great conversation. 6, 7, 8 months went by. Got a call for a gig. Played that gig, and when I jumped into Southern Soul around 2017, that training, and the guy has been nothing but a mentor and big brother. And
Kamel, I have to say
everything.
this. I have to say this. The way, one, I set these segments up, just at random. I didn't know I was putting the ones who were together on the first segment, the ones who were together on the second segment.
Right.
But the camaraderie and the collaboration between these artists is amazing.
The training, the mentorship, the sharing of information.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all are just, I am in awe of the way y'all pour into each other, y'all support each other, and all of that. I mean, I'm just in awe.
That's what I was just about to say, that common thread.
I am just so in awe of this. One, I'm going to not hold this against you, Rashad, but you were inducted into the Alabama Blues Hall of Fame.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to hold it against you.
Look, you'll be surprised, like me walking into Walmart and catching somebody like, well, what did it do? Alabama, out of all the thing. And I'm like, well, hey, like Zac Harmon said, if you went through Nazareth, somebody didn't know who Jesus was.
Right.
I'm one of I think I am the glue that kind of ties everybody together.
I love it.
When you really get in my story, like playing from that day, I think I spent maybe 5 years with one.
Yeah.
Me and him discussing well, hey man, I really want to do blues. My grandmother owned a juke joint cafe. My dad was in the barbecue.
Look at him playing though. That's a
so
photo.
much energy.
That's
so
a
much.
photo right there. We've
Him and
got
his whole
that
band.
one. Right. And then Marissa, put up the Live in Clarksdale album cover. That's the album cover, right?
Yeah.
Rashad, that's the album cover. That one right there, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And then he's got a new single that will be dropping August 1st in relation to the book as well. And that's Girl, You Got It Going On.
Oh, it's smooth.
He talking to me.
Ooh, it's a dance track too.
He talking to me. Oh, and so I'm just in love with this. I am in love with the whole relationship. And so now, before we even end this show, I gotta turn it over to none other than Mr. J1. Sell out the Waterview Casino in about a week.
Sell out everywhere.
Juan. J1, just thank you for coming on, man.
No problem.
I mean, how have you felt being in the business as long as you have and just staying relevant and just steadily growing and the audience growing for you? I mean, you don't stop.
Well, I got the consistent gene.
Yeah.
Like, my genes are consistent.
Right.
It's in my bloodline. Like,
yeah.
If I don't know how to do nothing else, I know how to be consistent.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I mean? So,
How do you maintain that? Is there some meditation that goes on? Is there prayer? What is it?
No, God wake me up in the morning.
Yeah.
You got to do something.
That's right.
So you might as well be consistent.
I love that. I love that.
I mean?
I love it. Consistency pays off.
Yes, indeed.
That's why his crowds look like the way they do.
Yeah.
That's why he sells out the way he sells out.
Yes.
Marissa, put up that bookings. He's got some dates coming up. Y'all can go ahead and cross off June 21st. That's done.
Yeah.
June 21st is
Look,
done.
come stand on the wall if they let you.
Yeah, June 21st is done, but all of those dates right there for the year of 2025. This man does not stop.
I got to update that thing, too.
If you do you?
Yeah, it just got crazy yesterday.
There's more?
Yeah, it just got crazy.
There's more.
Yesterday. Yeah.
There's more. And then 2026, you're going to be taking a cruise, sir?
Yeah, this is my second hosting my own cruise, yeah.
Are you serious? With Kerwin, Claiborne, Shotty Mac, Biggie Ayo, and you?
Everybody from Mississippi.
I got to be
right.
on it.
I stand on that.
I got to be on the boat.
I stand on that.
I don't like boats much, but I'll be on that boat.
It's a good one to be on.
I will be on that boat. And then you've got a new single that's come out. Shake
Ooh,
It.
that thing's so hot.
Yeah,
Shake It.
Yeah.
How's that being received?
Well, right now it's like Rashad says, it's a dance movement going on right now. You know what I mean? So I had to throw some flavor over in it.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot about gumbo, but I know that's like a Louisiana thing. So my mama like to make a shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
So what I mean? I feel like that's more of a Mississippi thing.
Yeah.
I had to put get my seasoning in there a little bit.
I love it.
So Shake It doing pretty good.
I love it.
Yeah.
Look, I gotta ask the bluesmen in here, because I know it could be a young generation versus an old generation. The trail ride. Explain that to me. Is that something that's like for the young people? Because when I brought it up to one of our other blues artists a couple weeks ago, he was like, I don't do trail
Explain
rides.
it, Juan.
And I was like, okay.
Explain the difference.
So trail ride is like this. It went from, all right, we're going to go ride our four-wheelers. That's what I've been noticing.
Yeah.
Then, okay, we're going to get the horses out, which Rashad, he in the horse world.
Okay.
But then when they get tired, most of the time they probably just sit around and drink and play music.
Yeah.
So I don't know who decided to say, hey, we might as well put a stage out here. And technically, COVID-19 helped that.
Oh, okay.
When they shut down the world, I tell people, when they first shut down the world, I went to Texas. We was in Texas every weekend doing concerts in the field. I'm talking about every weekend.
Yeah.
And it went from Texas, then it came over here.
Yeah.
Now it went over to Georgia and, your Carolinas.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's what I perceive from it as an artist. When they start shutting down all the clubs, they went outside.
Yeah, and that's what
and to add to J1 with me being a horse person.
Yeah.
Trail riding is not four-wheelers. I don't know where people get it from. That's something.
Well, I mean, I grew up around horses. That's what it is.
It was a blessing and a curse when the state of Louisiana said we can no more hold 2 and 3 million people for step and strut and had to kill that event.
Okay.
They had to go somewhere. You're talking about an all week long, no hotels, people sleeping in the campers, the horse trailers, everything. That was not enough state troopers or law enforcement to control everything.
So it spread out into trail rides.
And it just went from there. But it's a Zydeco.
You play them? You play the trail rides, Rashad?
Actually, doing Step and Strut, I was actually playing with Kenny Wayne when he dropped Ride It Like a Cowboy.
Okay.
So it was like, boom, like it was blowing, and then it was like, you know what, no more. So by that time, with me playing with one, and
to my audience, let me teach my audience a little bit. Trail Ride is the newest viral thing that's out there now. It's the newest like big party get together thing. It is somewhat of a young generational thing.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it's for the young people, but I gotta go to one.
Yeah.
I'm like midway young, so I'm going.
Just be on stage.
Yeah, I'm going.
If you go to one, just be on stage.
Hey,
not
be
in
on
the
stage,
crowd.
and if you run across Rashad the Blues Kid, do not run your 4-wheeler up to my horse, because I don't want to go in the woods or something.
So, Kamel, I mean, you've got all these players. Everybody's going to get together next week, Thursday, June 26th.
Most certainly.
Lemuria Books in Jackson.
That's right.
What do you want everybody to know before we get out of here?
Just that, look, it's a blessing to do this. I thank God. I thank God to be connected with these artists and just come out and enjoy being amongst the real creative genius that these people have, the spirit of it. The book is just a culmination of it. You will enjoy it. You will enjoy the music even more than and immerse yourself in the sexiest state in the entire world.
I love it. Congratulations to you.
Man, thank you.
So proud of you.
Glory be to God.
We be moving, man.
Yeah.
You be moving, man. I'm excited.
And I've known all these cats for a long time. J1, me and him have been rocking out since maybe 2 years out of law school.
Yeah.
Me and Chad have been together a long time.
Congratulations on the book. I feel very exclusive to have mine. And I can't wait till everybody gets one of these. And you're out of the loop if you don't have this book.
That's right.
Okay, so make sure you get out there. And then again, that's Jacktown, USA, the capital city of American music. That's going to be going down at Lemuria Books next week, June 26th. What time again?
6 to 9.
6 to 9 p.m.
Come enjoy it now.
It's going to be a movie, is what Kamel
I'm telling you.
Listen,
and we got a documentary coming off of the book, too.
And Jermaine's the audio book.
The voiceover.
The voiceover of the audio
For sure.
book. You just wait till I audition. I'm going to blow it out the water. You ain't going to find nobody better. Listen, I am so excited that we've come to the end of another great trip. We want to thank you for riding shotgun. And all of today's guests, we had Eddie Cotton, Stevie J Blues, Joe Lee, Juan was not here, but Juan, we still got you. Zac Harmon, Chad Wesley, Rashad the Blues Kid, and Jay Juan. Next week on Next Stop Mississippi, I've got Dear Silas coming on. Fangirling right now. To submit an event or find out more information about these and what's happening around your neck of the woods, visit mpbonline.org. Click the community tab to view those SIP events or email events at mpbonline.org. Next Stop Mississippi is produced by yours truly. For Java Chapman and Kamel King, I'm Jermaine Flood. Today's MMPs, that was my girl Marissa Vaughn, Abram Nanny, John C. They were all back there. Join us next Friday at 10 a.m. for another great trip here on Next Stop Mississippi.